Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cam Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here is Eric Reed. Hey, Eric, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm really good, Kayden. How are you?
Good. So, kind of tell us on how you got your start in music.
Well, I started off performing as a musician in bands as a drummer many years ago, and I moved across to guitar and bass guitar in bands. And as I got a little older, I thought I could work solo and write songs and start performing my own songs. I mainly worked on comedy, funny songs because I always like to see the funny side of things, and then as I progressed, I found that I could write and record and perform a lot of our own songs and also songs that are classics with the general public. And that's how I got into it. And my wife and I run a very successful little business here in Australia right now, where we call Reed Entertainment, and I also do ventriloquism. So I have a few puppets, but I have and I incorporate that as part of my act. And what we do at the moment is mainly shows that involve retirement, seniors, and aged care, and we can work through the week, two shows a day, morning and afternoon.
That's awesome. And have you ever heard of Darcy Lynn?
I know Darcy Lynn. We were the first Australians she ever met because we are part of the World Ventriloquist Convention, which they have
That's
in.
why I asked.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, we've been to that several times, and we know all the people, and we've got to meet some of the great ventriloquists around the world, and especially America. Terry Fater, Jeff Dunham, the list goes on. And
Hmm.
and Darcy was only about 11 when we first met her, and
Hmm.
she was with her mother, and she
Hmm.
started off as a church singer, and she
Yeah.
could yeah, and so we were there. She was amazed when we first met her because Jacinta and my wife and I had a funny accent, and she laughed every time we talked. She laughed at us.
Yeah. She's been doing really cool things. We're hoping to get her on for the show for sure.
Yeah, hopefully she remembers us, Jacinta and Eric.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think she's around 16 now, so she
Yeah,
might.
yeah, she should. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So ventriloquism, I incorporate in a 1 hour show that I would do. Like this morning, we've got a 1 hour show to do. We generally do two of these a day because where we live in Queensland, which is up the top of Australia,
Hmm.
in the sunny part, they call it the Sunshine Coast. And we have sunshine 300 days a year up here. And there's many millions of people live up here because it suits the older generations, where they can retire. So they love to have the old-fashioned entertainment, the songs from the 60s, 70s, even the 50s and 40s, as well as the old-fashioned style comedy, a little bit different to what you would see today in the modern. But that's how we survive here in Australia. And we also do clubs, like we do club shows as well as, and where we can do perform our own shows, our own songs. We just came back from New Zealand about 2 months ago, where one of my songs called Downsizing was rated in the top 10. So they asked all the top 10 performers to come over and perform at the awards night. And that was a wonderful experience. And we were the only Australians selected. So we were very happy with that. And that was a wonderful experience. Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media, Eric?
well, we're on Facebook. I think it's Jacinta.
No, this one.
It's sorry, Eric Reed. Eric Reed, READ, as read a book, ventriloquist, songwriter, entertainer. So if you go Eric Reed, ventriloquist,
Okay.
songwriter, entertainer. My,
Awesome.
my wonderful manager here,
Hmm.
Jacinta. and beautiful wife. She she looks after all the social side of it, and she's very good because all I have to focus. I got the easy part. I just focus on entertaining.
Yeah. Hmm. If you could duet with any singer, who would it be and why?
If I could what duet with any singer,
Yeah,
Jimmy Buffett, probably. Do you know Jimmy Buffett?
I do. Yes.
Well, yeah, possibly he'd be a lot of fun, even though he's getting up in years a bit now, and he's been around a long time. But we've seen him live perform, and we've been down to Key West. My wife and I have travelled to the United States many, many times. In fact, I think I've been there about 13 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
Where were you in the U.S.?
we've been all over. The only area we haven't really been to is the northern eastern side where you are.
Uh huh.
Um, although we just had a wonderful ventriloquist figure made by a guy called Austin Phillips, who lives in Massachusetts or near
Oh
Massachusetts,
wow. Oh wow.
and we have or not far from Boston actually, I think where you are. We drove Route 66 from LA to Chicago in 2016,
Hmm.
and we diverted to various places. And I've always wanted to go to Muskogee, Oklahoma, USA, because of the song.
Hmm.
So we went there as well.
Awesome. Do you have any new singles or any upcoming projects that we can look forward to?
Yes, we're constantly writing. I've recently written a tune about a very dear friend of mine, and his nickname was Kev Cav, and it's a song about he died of cancer just this year, and so I wrote a song about some of his wonderful. It's a song about a person who suffered. But most of my songs are not like that. I've written the song Grab and Gullen, the pub at Grab and Gullen. You have that. Now, that's a little tiny hotel in New South Wales in the middle of nowhere in Australia. Quite warm country down there and very dry and out in the middle of nowhere. That's got and I also have a wonderful song called The Generation. My wife's written some wonderful songs. There's a song called "Proud to Be an Anzac." We have many songs that are very good. And the one thing I try and do with my songs is make the lyrics very audible, so that people can understand and listen without not too much mumbles. Where we live here is on the edge of a Bribie Island. Bribie Island is a wonderful little island, 35 kilometres long. And I wrote a song called The Bribie Island Breeze, and it's all about Queensland. There's many.
Awesome. So, what does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day looks like well, we rise up, we do some at 6 a.m. We do some exercises. We get a squeeze a walk in if we can, a bit of breakfast, then we go off and we do a show somewhere on the southeast Queensland coast, and it'll be a show. Generally, there'll be up to 120 people in there watching our show. They're small shows, and then we'll do a 1 hour show there. And then we'll pack up and we'll go and have a picnic somewhere, picnic lunch somewhere where it's just a bit of a snack and a cup of coffee. And then we head off and do another show nearby. And my wife coordinates all these shows. Jacinta coordinates them all. And we'll do our second show. And then we'll come back home and get back home about 5 o'clock. It's just kind of like an everyday day job, but we're entertaining people. And we can survive on that quite nicely. We also sell DVDs of our show. We have a DVD of our 1 hour variety show for people that can't see us live. So we've been selling them all over Australia. and it won an award for innovation for looking after retirement seniors and aged care people.
Oh, that's awesome. What is one message that you would like to give your fans or anyone listening?
Just like to say, keep laughing, keep happy, because the one thing in these times is a lot of sadness. So you've got to look at the funny side of life. You've got to look at the happy side of life, and I try and bring that into songs and be natural, and even in Pub and Grab and Gullen, which is not so much a funny song, but I put the cocky and the kelpie in there. The kelpie is a dog. You hear the kelpie barking in the song, and you hear the cocky. That's a little cockatoo, an Australian cockatoo. Makes a funny little sound like.
That's funny.
Yeah. But I always try and be funny. I was very lucky to have a wonderful parents who were very funny as well. My dad was a very funny man. He always saw the funny side of things.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else that I forgot they'd like to share?
Um, you can find any of our music on. It can be streamed on iTunes and Spotify, and also blueshamrockmusic.com.au. Oh no, just .com, I think it is. Blue Shamrock Music. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say a huge thank you to Eric Reed for joining me right here on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. We truly appreciate your time to talk to us today, Eric.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Kayden, and keep up the good work, my friend.